Hello everybody and welcome to FEMME FLEX Friday. I am Alina Popa and today I have the privilege of having Whitney Jones here with me, being both a guest and my guest co-host.
Yes, wardrobe changes in between. You know, we're going to make it work, but this is a fun experience.
Absolutely.
And of course, it's a topic near and dear to my heart. It's fitness.
And that's why you are the guest.
Yes, I'm one of the guests, so this is going to be fun.
Absolutely. And today we have here Missy Truscott, first place at the Fitness Olympia, Oksana Grishina, second place, and Whitney Jones, third place at 2020 Fitness Olympia. So we are here today trying to figure out a lot of things about your experience with the sport itself, your knowledge, and so on and so forth. But the first question I want to ask you girls, given this COVID situation, I want to know what were the peculiarities of your training. Did you have a gym to train? I know, for example, that California was in lockdown, right? I know that this beautiful lady here has her own gym, so obviously training for her was easier.
Definitely. Had that
Missy,
benefit.
tell us, how was it for you training with COVID, prepping for Olympia?
It was actually really difficult at the beginning because here in Seattle, we are super conservative, so we shut everything down, which was obviously a benefit for the community, but you know, it was really difficult for me. My fitness routine I had to practice in my driveway.
Wow.
I ended up buying mats from a gymnastics club so I could really practice my routine hard. And just with the prop and everything, as you guys saw, it was a 6-foot cage that I had custom built for the Olympia stage. So, you know, I'm jumping off of that thing in my driveway onto cement, obviously being super careful, but you know, I had to bring a really, really strong routine this year. And yeah, all in all, it worked out great. So I was excited.
And Oksana, for you, what was it like prepping in California? Because you guys seem to be by far the most locked down and still kind of are.
We still are, yes. I mean, it was nightmare, honestly, I'll be honest. So because first time I couldn't find access to any gym and I started to practice in garage. So there was some flooring, you know, but it's still cement, if I pronounce it right.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely difficult, yeah. But then later on I found access to another gym, thanks God. So, and I was able to practice my routine. Yeah, floor is still difficult. It's not gymnastic gym, it's not even wood floor. So, but it helps a lot. Yeah. For me, when I step on Olympia stage, I was flying away. I was flying out, you know. So all these challenges, I mean, it works well. It works well to get stronger and just, you know, and just see how many things we took for granted. I just, you know, so, but we still lock down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really difficult to practice dance and gymnastics, acrobatic, but we do what we love to do. So, and I enjoy every single workout.
We make it happen the way we can, right? How about you, Whitney? How did you make it work?
Well, I was lucky, like you said, I do have my own gym. So I was very fortunate that I had my own facility that I could train in, which, like for you guys, that's crazy because what we do in our routines, it's dangerous just in general. So to not even have the mats and to be practicing on a hard surface, that's rough. So I feel very grateful that I had that. For me, the biggest challenge was I actually got COVID twice. In Olympia prep. Yes, so trying to stay healthy and dealing with the, it affected my heart in a big, big way. It affected my lungs, still leading into those last few weeks of Olympia. So for me, my biggest COVID challenge was trying to still be healthy and recover from it, because that's what tapped me. So I had one benefit, but then I got hammered hard on the health side.
I remember I texted you actually, I think on Instagram, that I'm going to Arizona to your gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what else we can do? Maybe move to Las Vegas.
Heck
maybe
yeah.
Move to somewhere.
I know, I'm like, come on, that would be a blast. We could have been training. That would have been so much fun. I would have loved it.
Well, we obviously have the new champion here with us, Missy. And I want to know, do you perceive now, it's been what, 2 months, do you perceive the difference between training now to hold your title, to defend your title? Is it different than the way you felt when you were trying to grab that title?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more fire burning inside of me because I know a new wave of fitness girls, they're coming and they're coming hard. The physiques have changed, the routines are more difficult, and these younger girls, you know, they're coming. So I do have this fire to hold that title and just continue to train hard and do what I love. So I'm coming strong this year, and I'm really looking forward to 2021 and competing at the Arnold and the Olympia.
What do you think, Whitney? Is it different when you were trying to get your title? Do you feel different now that you had to defend your title and now you have to actually reclaim your title? Are there any differences in your motivation?
I wouldn't say the motivation is different because it's always there. It's a different mentality. I think for me, after the 2 Olympias that I won, the very next day it was like brainstorming, okay, on my physique, I want to improve XYZ, routine-wise, setting quarterly goals, annual goals. But still, win or lose, I still have the same strategy because the passion is there. I love this sport. I love what I do. I feel very fortunate that I get to do it. So that drive is always there. I think what's different, and I think, Oksana, I'd love to get your opinion on this too. It's tough being the underdog going in because you feel like everyone's rooting for you. So I felt before I ever got my first title, I felt like everyone was cheering for me. And then you get it, and then you have all these people that kind of come out of the woodworks and they're like, oh, we don't want you to win again. And so you're constantly dealing with those people who want to see you fail. So that for me was the biggest kind of like aha, shocking moment.
It is a shock.
Yeah. So it's hard to kind of flip your brain because you love that support and you feed off it on those days that you struggle. But I know, Oksana, you've kind of briefly mentioned this in other interviews, and did you experience the same thing?
It's so interesting. It's definitely a lot of pressure on yourself. So nobody actually press on you, right? It's you who press.
Sure.
So much press on yourself to do better job, and you can get crazy thinking about it, but it's really tough to defend. The most difficult is defend your title. It's the most difficult. And I was second, I think, 2 times before when I compete with Adela. I think 2 times, right, Boris? Okay, he can hear me. So, and honestly, so I have practicing being second and being first. And honestly, I could tell you, being second is always the best. Because like everybody rooting for you, everybody loves you, but when you're a champion, I mean, it's my opinion. That's what I feel. That's what I, practicing. But when you first, people expecting from you something like, what next?
Unrealistic.
What next is gonna do? So, but being second is like, everyone rooting for you. Like, that's what happens in my career when I play second. So, and I mean, that's just probably how people think, how our fans thinking, how audience thinking. I don't know. That's how I felt.
Yeah, and obviously your division, ladies, is so unique because you are being judged and you have a score for just the routine. So right after this commercial break, I'm going to come back with a question for Missy related to the routine.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro Tan.
And we're back with this question for Missy. I'm curious, how do you find ways to refresh your routine, to always bring something new, right? Because you are at absolutely the top of your game. All three of you ladies are champions, right? And I kind of feel like once you have your style, right, it's a little hard to break that style or to bring something absolutely new or breathtaking. How do you do that? How do you keep your routine fresh?
So every routine I try to bring a different routine, and I'm always trying to up my degree of difficulty with my skills. I know the one good thing about fitness is that you can have like a favorite style. So, you know, dancers kind of favor Oksana, and then the b-boy hardcore type really likes Whitney's routine. And then, you know, I'm kind of like the powerful, like tumbler, gymnast, cheerleader type. So I try to look for inspirations just in my home roots. So what I learned when I was younger, a lot of those skills I can actually do now because I have the muscle from training. So one example is with my tumbling. I do like a round up back handspring layout full on stage. I couldn't do that when I was younger in gymnastics. It's something that I've developed and practiced over time. And bodybuilding has really helped with that because I've built, you know, stronger legs, more powerful calves that I can execute these moves. So without any fear.
And Missy, you bring up a good point too, because we get this question all the time, and I think it's great to bring up because as a fitness athlete, you don't have to have a set criteria. You know, you don't have to be this phenomenal dancer or this level 10 gymnast. But what is your background, Missy? Let's start with you, that has helped parlay you into being such a powerhouse in the fitness division.
Sure. So I was an all-star cheerleader from like 15 to 18, and then 15 and under, I did competitive gymnastics. So I do have that kind of muscle memory, you know, with gymnastics and cheerleading.
And then Oksana, what's your background training again?
My background is rhythmic gymnastics. It's kind of different than art gymnastic. So it's more flexibility and coordination, like more dance. I don't know, it's more flexible. It's different gymnastics. It's Olympic sport, but yeah, it's total different than art gymnastics, where girls doing some backflips and, you know, crazy lines. Yeah, but it's more dance. So, and that's why I think any dancers right now have a chance to compete and try in fitness, because we don't have any required right movements like backflips, which for me it's so much fear to do, you know, but they can use their skills and be on the top.
Yeah.
I mean, doing great job.
Yeah. Whitney, you are under the spotlight.
Well, I don't have any formal training. No, I really don't. I never
what
did
you said last time, I
gymnastics as
remember.
a kid. I did not do dance as a kid. I was a tomboy and did sports. So I did every sport that wasn't very girly. And then I did like Pop Warner cheer, which is nothing to the degree like Missy, you know, but that, I don't know. For me, I think it helped me because if I'm trained in a specific way, I tend to overthink it. So not having that experience, I don't really have a lot of fear. So in high school, college, I started tumbling just because I would see it, I'd visualize it, and then I'd do it. But if you look at what I do and you break it down and slow-mo it, it is far from proper form. And if there was a gymnastics coach looking at it, they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? So I just kind of go for it, developed my own little ways, but I don't have any formal training in that aspect. But again, that's a great thing to show because you can be, anyone can come and be part of this division.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Within the last couple of years, Whitney, you really developed this momentum of like b-boy style where you didn't have to do the crazy flips.
Yeah.
But it just showed that other girls can, you know, come in, you know, hit the 4 mandatory skills, execute a routine, and can potentially be Miss Fitness Olympia. So
you
really like help that style.
And this ties
It's never
very
too
well.
late. It's never too late to try.
That's right. This ties very well with my next question, which is from my perspective as, let's say, audience, right? I'm looking at it and I know there are certain criteria, like certain moves and skills that you have to prove, right? But what is your strategy for success? What makes your routine a beautiful, successful routine that takes the breath away and then you're going to be rewarded with the first place, you know? What is that element that makes magic?
So obviously you want to make sure you're hitting your 4 mandatory skills. And then when I start to develop a routine, I really focus, like I take a couple weeks to really figure out what I'm going to do choreography wise. If I'm going to add in my new skills, if I'm hitting those skills yet, or if I'm still working on them. And then I start putting music together and figuring out sections of the routine. So I tend to work in like 30-second sections before I like put the whole 2 minutes together. So it doesn't happen in just like a day where your routine is finished. This is like a year-long process. So even before the Olympia, I was working on my new Arnold routine for this year and my Olympia routine for this year. Making notes, you know, talking with my husband, brainstorming. So it's a long process, but I love every second of it. And I definitely just want to encourage, you know, younger girls out there to kind of take on this type of choreography. And if you need help with it, reach out to me on Instagram because I can definitely help you with your fitness routines.
How about you, Whitney? What's your take on this strategy for a successful routine that's taking your breath away?
Well, for me, so as a fitness athlete, you practice your routine a ton and you get so sick of the music. So if you don't love it from the get-go, you're going to want to strangle yourself at the end of the day. By the time you hit the show, you hear the song and it just makes you want to cringe. So for me, I start with music always. Music has always been hearing from the judges, and then even as a fan, before I was up on the big stages, the music is what really wrapped me in. And you know, if I'm on my phone and I hear a good song, I look up, I'm like, oh wow, and I'm intrigued, it pulls me in. So I start with finding music that I hear on repeat and it constantly gets me wanting to move and dance, gets me hyped. If that's a song, then I always will like mark it and say, okay, that's a possible song for me. So for me, that's how I started. I have to really feel it. I know certain skills I want to include. I know I'm always working on at least 2 for each new routine. But for me, I just go with the flow. I do my choreography. So as I'm in the room, I'll turn the music on and I just kind of freestyle. And it starts coming to me and I'll nitpick, I record everything, that looks cheesy as heck, or that looks amazing, and it all just comes together. And like you said, Missy, it's a process. It does not happen overnight. And then I'm notorious for changing my routine up until literally peak week. And I am constantly changing it. And it's kind of neurotic in a way, but it's because I want to keep it fresh. If I get tired of it, I feel like the judges and the audience are going to get tired of it, which isn't true, but still, I want to love what I bring to the stage.
Talking about changing the routine, it's actually a great topic to talk about with Oksana, right? Because I know that you had a completely different routine for this last year's Olympia.
Yes.
And I know that we invited you in the spring here, and you were telling us that the reason you came back is because you had this routine in your head.
Because of routine.
And then
So,
you had to change it.
One of the reasons was to be back is my new performance. And I work on this performance so long. And how, just like girl said, it's long process. So the routine I was preparing, it was so long, to get ready. But I experienced another challenge. So for 3 weeks, I have to set up with new choreography. And it was possible. So first time when Olympia announced about venue changed, I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop because there was no way. I never had this experience getting ready for preparing routine for 3 weeks. And I talked to Boris. I said, listen, there's no way, because in fitness you have to practice like stamina, right? And if you include some new movement, some new even choreography or dancing, which you do with full energy, right? It's so hard. You have to practice it. You need time. So 3 weeks was not enough. Even some it was huge challenge.
What was in your initial routine that you couldn't bring on stage in Orlando as opposed to Vegas?
I'm not gonna tell this because I still hope that I will bring this routine.
Okay.
Maybe at the Arnold, maybe at the Olympia.
So was it a prop?
We'll see. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
She's trying to keep it on
Nothing.
the wraps.
You don't want to give me anything.
She doesn't want to give it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna be next. But yeah, it was a true challenge, but everything is possible. So even 3 weeks, yes, I push so hard, like I have to practice maybe twice on routine.
Oh, yeah.
And skip some workout on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with weights, because I was late, But when I got in time, when everything was ready, I was like, okay, let's do.
You're ready to go.
I mean, all my respect for you, because I don't have, as I was competing, if I left my routine too late, I find myself with a complete lack of imagination.
Yeah.
Like I do, I'm brain dead and I can't do anything anymore. So the fact that you can actually pull a routine for a fitness division in 3 weeks, it's fantastic.
Oh my God, especially on stamina, it was so difficult because changing choreography, changing everything, it was it's like you practice. I mean, of course I had base already, it's built it, but so the best rehearsal was on Olympia stage.
Oh, that's a good time for it to happen.
Best one, yeah, no mistakes, like everything clean. I was so happy about that, so happy.
Well, while Oksana's holding out on some details, we're gonna take a quick break and see if we can convince her to spill the beans, but we'll be right back.
Joe Weider's Olympia here in Orlando, Florida. A little bit strange coming out of Las Vegas for all of those years.
Good evening, and welcome to the event that nearly never happened.
There's been an absence of a particular group of people on this stage that are back tonight. Tonight I'm here to say, welcome back to Ms Olympia.
Okay, so we're back, but we failed at getting Oksana to spill the secrets on her prep for this year, so we got to move on. But let's go to some fun stuff too, because fitness is all about fun, right? And we all have had those moments where we have some fails on stage, some embarrassing moments. I know I probably have 1,000 compared to you guys, but hey, that's just me. But Missy, let's go to you first. What is one experience on stage that you're like, oh my gosh, did that really just happen?
Oh my gosh, honestly,
oh no, okay, so I'm trumping you with all of mine? Come on, you've got to have one bad moment.
I don't know if I'll ever live down the Stephen Harvey moment at this year's Olympics.
Yeah.
I feel like every podcast I do, people keep asking me about it. So I guess it's the Stephen Harvey moment. That's the most awkward.
That's a good one, yeah. Okay, you might win.
Can I ask what does it mean, Steve
Harvey?
Steve Harvey moment? Sorry.
So he was announcing, he was the host of the beauty pageant Miss America, and he announced, he made a flub on stage at the pivotal moment, just like on stage at Olympia, and screwed up the winners. So that's what she means by the Steve Harvey. Yeah,
I heard it a lot in some posts, and I still couldn't understand what does it mean.
No, it's like, here's the crown. No, 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 you can't have it. Give your crown back.
Nope, just kidding. Psych. But everything was handled well, and thank goodness they fixed it pretty quickly. They at least realized.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of that was a little rough moment, I'm sure.
How about you, Oksana? What's your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Whitney, tell me yours.
Oh my God. Okay.
Again, you don't want to give us anything. You're passing.
I don't actually tell many people this, but I have some health issues with my heart, and I don't know if I should expose it, but whatever. I'm already onto it. Long story short, I actually black out in my routines, and it's a normal thing. Trust me, it's doctors. All my doctors know. So I have face planted on back tucks on 2 occasions, and I never know what happens until I get done with the routine, and then I get to watch it. And the first time it ever happened, I got off stage and, you know, kind of got back to my bearings and thought I did a phenomenal routine, and everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I had no clue that happened, because again, it happens, I black out and I have no recollection. Wow. And they're like, "Your face." And I'm like, "What is wrong?" So then I saw the video and I was like, "Oh my gosh, just face planted." Thankfully, muscle memory, I pop up and I keep going. So it works for me. But yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. I mean, just full-blown backflip.
I think I remember you. Yeah, what year it was? What year?
The first time. So you're gonna go back and look at these videos.
First time.
Yeah. So Toronto Pro was probably the worst. Yeah. That was. I don't remember what year it was though. But it's happened a lot, just because I try not to put the harder skills at the very end, because I'm almost always out and just blacked out, no recollection. So I try to front load. Here's some of my secrets. I front load my routine with all the stuff that I really need to be coherent for, and the rest I just kind of wing it.
Just in case.
I choreograph 3 different endings, and I never know what my brain is going to go with. So
at least you have options.
No, I have, and sometimes it's something new on stage. So yeah, but that's probably why I have more embarrassing moments, because I don't know what I bring on stage until after I watch it.
I want to know, ladies, how is your diet, let's say 2-3 weeks out? I'm always fascinated, you know, like you have to do all of these routines and they're extremely difficult. You need a lot of stamina, you need a lot of calories from my perspective, right? In order to have the energy to perform it and keep on doing it. How low do your calories go 2-3 weeks out? Oksana?
Oh, it depends in what shape I am.
Okay.
So, and sometimes when I feel like I'm really exhausted, and of course we add more carbs, and it's could be, I don't know, 4 times with carbs and 4 meals with carbs and 2 meals just protein. Or sometimes I even challenge myself and do protein day and practice my routine, just to get more, you know, just to feel, gosh, it's hard to explain.
Like to have the energy and stamina.
Yes, just to practice when you're absolutely exhausted. It's more for fitness routine. It's more for stamina, just to know if you absolutely exhausted, have no energy, and you still can do it. So, and yeah, it's hard to tell exactly, because we always adjust diet by how I look at the moment. So, and how my day looks like. If it's, let's say, as it was 2 acrobatic workouts in a day, it was crazy. So of course we increase carbs. We have to increase carbs. But yeah, if it's just, it depends. It's hard to tell exactly, but yeah.
And Missy, at that 2-3 week out mark, do you practice your routine every day? And if you do you introduce fats or carbs before practicing the routine?
Yeah, so my nutritionist is John Meadows. He keeps a really close eye on me, like throughout my practices. I we just stick to the plan. So my calories on training days, when I am 3 weeks out, are around like 1,300. So we are like really low. Carbs are roughly around like 80 grams a day. So I'm not getting a lot of fuel. And the purpose of that is to be extremely depleted going into the show. And then, you know, a week out from the show, we start really carb loading hard. And then that gives me the energy to perform at maximum capacity at the Olympia or the Arnold, whatever.
What's your approach to this, Whitney?
For me, my body just, once it gets on a roll in prep, my body just wants to burn, and it starts eating away at the muscle. So honestly, I learned years ago, I actually kind of am a little bit opposite, which I'm happy about. And people think it's crazy, but I increase calories every single week going into Olympia. And this past Olympia even, I was eating 3 to 4 donuts a day on top of my
No way, donuts?
Yes.
Are you for real?
Dropping.
I'm getting mad at you.
And I mean, I love donuts, but we have found that sugar does work for my body. Now, again, that's not everybody. I have so many clients who are like, I want to be on a donut diet. It's not for everybody. It works for me. But if I wasn't increasing, it was like, okay, we're going to not have donuts tomorrow. And then I'd still drop weight. And it's like, oh my gosh. So if I wouldn't have been eating that, I would have been tiny on stage. It's just hard. My body wants to just burn through the muscle. Like I said, once it gets going. So I eat a lot. Missy, props to you. I don't think I've ever been on 1,300 calories ever. I think I would probably give up. So props to you. I don't think I'm that tough. I don't know.
I do have carbs during my workout and like pre and post workout. So that's, we tailor the carbs around like hardcore training days. But yeah, like when you wake up in the morning and at nighttime, we're going like low carbs. So it's very strategic where the carbs are being put, similar to you with the donuts. When you practice your routine, you're eating your donuts, getting that sugar and carb rush.
Sure.
So,
and it works. Everyone's
different.
different. Yes, you gotta find what works for you. That's what people, I think, kind of forget sometimes.
Switching the gears a little bit here with a funny question for you, Oksana. I want to know a fun fact about your childhood.
Fun fact?
Yes. Something funny about you as a child.
Oh, everything was funny.
I mean, you grew in Russia. Yeah, I understand that.
I know, it's so hard to tell exactly. There was a lot of drama in my childhood as well. It's just crazy. My family is absolutely happy family.
They are amazing.
My dad is this high sense of humor, and I still think he should be an actor, 100%. But every time, doesn't matter how difficult our life was. When I come back from school or gymnastics at home, and my home was always so far, so I was back home being so little, and there was long driveway and then long walk to get my home. So I got home so exhausted all the time. And my dad make a lot of fun at home, doesn't matter what, doesn't matter how difficult life was, And I know that's probably,
And your family's amazing. I love how close you all are.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's how you kept your positivity and that smile that's always on your face.
They're so funny. Anything he said, anything my dad said, or playing with my mom, So it's just, it's always brings so much fun. Yeah, and maybe that's what he gave to me sometimes. But it's hard to exactly tell just one fun moment.
Well, you have a lot, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing. Every day your dad was making you happy.
Yes.
Well, talking about that kind of stuff, I want to know if you have any special abilities.
Oh, special ability?
Special abilities.
I know what she's getting at. Okay, so You guys probably know her. If you don't, hello, welcome to my crazy world. I love stupid shenanigans and ridiculous challenges. And so we were talking about one of my silly traits, and I can cross one eye while the other one is straight. Now, you're gonna put me on the spot because normally I practice for a few weeks, but I was trying to teach Alina, so you gotta do it with me.
Okay.
Don't put me on the spot
Do I
without
have to
going
look
with me.
in that camera and you look in that
All right,
camera?
let's try it. Ready?
Okay, so we cross our eyes.
Just-
one goes in, one goes somewhere else.
Do whatever you can. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but we'll try. And
Okay.
we look kind of silly doing it, but
watch,
hey.
I'm going to gain so many followers.
All right, ready? Here we go.
We go.
I think I'm doing. Am I doing it?
I think I'm doing it. Am I doing it, Nico?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, we nailed it.
Whoa.
I feel like they're stuck. Oh wow.
Oh my God.
So I think my whole childhood and my life is filled with ridiculous shenanigans like that. That's my take on it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a very, very funny and actually inspirational and instructive episode. I really love to find out all those details that go into, you know, competing and being a successful competitor in a fitness division. It's absolutely fantastic. So I want to thank you all. Thank you for being my guest and co-host. And
Well,
thank you, ladies.
And yes, thanks, Oksana and Missy. So fun to be reunited with you guys. And for everyone
you so
tuning in,
much.
we appreciate you supporting us, supporting the athletes, and of course, supporting the show.
And we're looking forward to see you all three on stage this coming year, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you
being
for having.
Thank you for being here with us today. Catch you on the next episode of FEMME FLEX Friday.